Hello everyone, this is Levi Sanderson with NRL22. I was going to do this quick screen recording about submitting scores on the NRL22 website. Now, if you guys have been match directors for a while, most of you are familiar with the template they have on the website. And I actually was helping a buddy of mine, and he said, man, this is a lot of work getting it all put into this template, in which the template is built just like this on the website, where they've got all the club info, first name, last name, NRL22 number, the division or class that they're shooting, and then their score. So when I realized that it's quite a bit of lift for certain folks, especially if they're not spreadsheet savvy, I decided to go ahead and build this helper spreadsheet. So this makes it easy to copy and paste directly from the Practice Score website, like after you've published your results. So I have this helper template up that I created, and all the instructions, of course, are found on it. That you just need to download this template in the preferred format, or you just make a copy of it for your Google Sheets as seen in the screenshot below. And so right down here, if you're doing it on the computer, it shows you that you just, select file, then make a copy or download. You can download it as an Excel file if you want, but preferably, I always just like sticking with Google Sheets. So I just do file and I make a copy, and it makes a copy onto my Google Sheets. Now, the cool thing is I can actually do it right here on my cell phone when I have this helper sheet built. It's super easy just to do it even on my cell phone. So the first thing I do is this pencil in the upper right hand corner here. If I click on that, it gives me the option to edit with the Sheets app. If you don't have the Sheets app, that is just Google Sheets. It's Google Apps spreadsheet program. So it's like the Google version of Excel, but it's free. So you can download that. But at that point, I'm going to click Use the App, and it's going to take me over it's going to open up that spreadsheet in the app. Now, as you can see, it's the same thing we were looking at, but it's not editable. There's nothing you can do with it. That's because I shared this in an uneditable form. So like I said, on the computer, you'll just follow these red circles and you'll make a copy of it on your own Google Sheets. But on the cell phone, you can just hit these three dots in the upper right-hand corner, hit Share/Export, and then let's go ahead and just make a copy. So it's going to make a copy. It's going to save it directly to my Google Drive. And once I've created this copy, it's going to pull up that whole spreadsheet in an editable form. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is down on the bottom here, there's some tabs across the bottom. So this main tab here, the NRL22 scores, that's the template that NRL22 wants you to submit your scores on. And then the next tab that I added is the Android Practice Score website copy paste. So if you're using like an Amazon Fire or an Android device and you post it to practicescore.com, the results look different than they do if you're posting it from an iPad or an iOS thing like an iPhone. So I also have an iOS Practice Score website copy paste option. And then lastly, if you're using iOS devices, you can actually export a CSV document, and you can copy paste that CSV information into here, and it will fill out the template most of the way for you. Which all three of these tabs will do the same thing. I mean, we'll fill it out most of the way for you. So the club that I'm using as an example is using the Android Amazon Fires to post their results. So I've got this page pulled up. I'm going to switch over back to the web browser. We're going to go to Practice Score, look for the results. I'm going to go ahead and use Eagle Eyes match as an example. And you guys see how there's two different matches here for Eagle Eye. You got the NRL22 only stages and the NRL22 plus bonus stages. If you guys don't know how to clone your match after you're done with it, clone it, including the scores, and then go into the stage builder and delete the bonus stages and then repost it like written like that, the NRL22 only stages. That way you have two different matches. It's easier for your shooters to see their scores, and it's easier for you to submit scores to NRL22 in that fashion. Dominic's putting out a video kind of walking through all those steps, but I'm just giving you a heads up on that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, NRL22 only scores, hit the combined. So we're going to go to that. And now we've got all the results from his match. So I'm going to just highlight the first shooter here, and I'm going to, get all the results highlighted. So I'm just going to drag it down and highlight them all, copy it, hop back on over to the Sheets app. I'm going to, highlight that cell, long press it, and I'm going to hit paste. Now you can see that I actually went down one space, and I need to kind of slide it up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the undo button up here, and I'm going to move this up one cell, and I'm going to hit paste again. And there it just pasted them in the right spot. And you can see how he has multiple, his club is using, is keeping score for multiple series. So they're keeping score for NRL22, and they're keeping score for Mars. And so he has instructed them to put it in with a dash. And if you need to split those out to submit the scores, we've got an option right here where you can put in kind of what character to use as the split. I would just leave that in there. If you're not splitting at all, just leave it as the slash mark, and it won't harm anything at all. Like this guy down here, that's Mars 311, like that slash won't affect that cell at all. So if you only have, or this one, if you only have that number in there, it won't affect it. So I would just leave that. But if you're not using a slash, and maybe they wrote in Mars, I might actually change that to an M, and that would actually split off the Mars off of the NRL22. But so it's got, see how the divisions are labeled out, match points and all that stuff. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit this check mark up here. I'm going to scroll back over and go to the front page. And as you can see, it actually has it already mostly filled out for me. It split the first name and the last name. The NRL22 numbers are split out like that. I've got most of the classes filled in the proper formatting. So look at Matthew Perry down here, didn't have the class. So I'm going to go ahead and select that. I'm going to fix that. He was OG adaptive, and his score didn't pull through, but it looks like he was a DQ, so that's going to be a 0. So I'm going to clear that cell, and I'm just going to write in 0. And that's it. Now, same thing up here. So I got to clean up some of this stuff. It looks like it still says NRL and all that sort of thing. So I'm just going to select the cell. I'm going to long press it. I'm going to hit clear, and then I'm going to write 1586. So clear, and then I'm going to type in 1586. This guy, 1371. I'm going to hold him, and I'm going to hit clear, 1371. This one, 1437, same thing. Clear, 1437. And I can go down and I can do that for all of these shooters and get their data cleared out. But as you can see, I still have to fix a few things, but not near as much as if I was typing this all in manually. Lastly, of course, I'll come up here, I'll type in, Eagle Eye, NRL22, or whatever the club is called. And then I'd fill out the city, the state, match director email. Make sure you get the date, not the date of submission. It's the date the match was held. So make sure that the date is correct. At that point, once you got all that stuff in and cleaned up and you're ready for submission, just hit those 3 dots again. Go back to share and export. And you can click save as. And you've got a couple options. You can save it as an Excel document, an open document format, or a CSV. Any of those would be fine to send into NRL22. I'm going to go ahead and save it as an Excel document. I'm going to hit OK, and it's just going to save it directly into it's actually going to save it to my Google Drive, but you could probably save it directly to your device as well. At that point, I'm going to scroll back over to the NRL22 website. I'm going to pull up the submission area. So NRL22, submit scores. And then it says to choose file. So I'm going to click on choose file. And once you choose file, you're going to go to your files. You're going to select where you stored that file at, which on mine it was saved it to my Google Drive. So then I would select the downloaded Excel file in my Google Drive, and it'll attach it right here. I'll fill out my match name, all that stuff, hit submit, and then of course lastly I would hit the admin payment, and then I'd be done. And I did all the score submission directly on my phone without even opening my laptop. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day and shoot straight.